Okay, hello. So this is the last video we're doing right now on the purchasing side of the property. So I walked you through the entire process steps to find these properties, identify the areas, identifying the right kind of property you want to target, getting the list, filtering the list, sending out the letters, talking to the sellers, making your offers, or getting the value analysis, making your offers, getting the offers accepted or renegotiating, closing on the property, deciding whether you want to use a contract or option, and obviously there's an entire selling part right now that we're about to go into. What I also want to do though is I want at this point talk for just a moment about a couple of other things that you can do with these properties. So as I said, I just walked you through the process of acquiring such a property. Now, before we go into the marketing of such a property as is, my standard cookie cutter model, that's my bread and butter model that I've done over 3,800 times, is a model where we don't change anything about the property. We just buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. Stick to the plan. My recommendation is that you do not change anything at the beginning. You follow the exact method as it is right now, and then once you have a few deals under your belt, you can then go and change the model, change the letter, change the approach. Because what's going to happen if you change it now is that you're going to fail. And if you're failing, then you're going to blame me. I don't want you to blame me, very simply. I want you to succeed. So therefore, I want you to follow the step exactly how I said it. Use the exact tools, the exact letter, the exact process that I just laid out in this program right now. And then once you get the results, you go sell them, you make some money in the process, and then you go tweak it to your heart's desire and make it even better if you find a way to even better. And on top of it, if you find a way to make it even better, let me know, because I always want to learn. I haven't found many people that were able to make this much better than what I already have it, but there's always little tweaks that somebody after they've done a few deals, after they've made a few deals, comes up with. And I do definitely want to hear about those as they improve our and everyone else's business. Having said that right now, what I do want to talk for a moment is that obviously once you own that piece of property, once you have it under contract, just flipping it is not the only option that you have. It's your cookie cutter, bread and butter, business grading, $5,000 to $15,000 a deal, like clockwork kind of method. But what if you come across a property that's right in the end, kind of on the outskirts of time, already ready to be developed, and you can get it for a bargain price, right? What if you come across a few acres of lakefront property that perhaps would be worth tremendously more if you can subdivide it into multiple lots, if you can split it? What if you come across an 80-acre, 40-acre parcel that's on a road like this and a road like that? Would it be possible for you to shave off or cut off the top 20 acres and take the bottom 20 acres and split that into 4 5-acre parcels? Would that be a possibility? And the answer is yes, right? So you can always do these kind of things. Don't feel like you have to just flip it for a quick buck. If every once in a while, and as a matter of fact, somewhat on a regular basis, you will come across what I call high potential properties. And those high potential properties are sometimes worth looking into to see what you can do with them other than just flipping. However, I want to make sure that that you keep in mind, that's why this is at the very end and it's a bonus module, that you don't make that your standard. Because your standard should be, especially at the beginning, just flip, 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 flip. Because by doing flip, 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 you are going to be able to get yourself out of debt. You're going to be able to get yourself to having a year's worth of living expenses on the sidelines. When I quit my job, it was October 17, 2003. I got my first land deal accepted on Christmas Day 2002. What a great Christmas gift. But in those 10 months from Christmas Day 2002 till October 17, 2003, I had done enough deals to pay off all my student debt, pay off all my consumer debt, pay off all the kind of like furniture and stuff that I was paying on monthly installment, pay off one of the cars, and had 1 year's worth of living expenses on the sideline. All of that came from just flip, 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 without splitting these properties, without rezoning them or doing anything like that. But after that was done, after I was financially free, after I was able to quit my job, and after I had built up also passive income, to which we get to when we start right now about the marketing and the selling, the first module about that is about looking at it. What are your options when you sell? And once I got that going and I had a few $1,000s, like $4,000 or $5,000 in passive income coming in, now I had the passive income stability into my business that I could actually go, Michelle and I could actually go and spend some time on more creative deals and really truly maximizing the profits of the deals as we found them. So for example, I did come across a deal that was 40 acres like that, multiple. That 40 acres like this, like here. This is the 40 acres. So a road was here, was a road there, it's a corner property here. And we actually separated off the top 20 acres, sold the top 20 acres for more than what we had bought the full 40 acres for. And then we took the bottom 20 acres and split that into 4 5-acre parcels and sold each of them for $6,700. So the total thing was I had bought the full 40 acres for $3,700. Sold the 20 acres for something like $15,000, and then sold each of the 5 acres for $6,700. So if you add that up together, 6,700 times 2 times 4 is how much? 13,400. It's something like $26,800 plus $15,000 is $41,600 is what we sold this entire chunk as 5 different properties to the public, and plus interest on these smaller 5-acre parcels. So really, at the end of the day, we got over $45,000 out of this property that we bought for $3,700. If I would have sold the property just as is, I probably would have sold the entire thing for $20,000. Would have been a nice profit of $17,000, but I sold 20 for $15,000, and then had on top of that was $12,000 or $11,000 ahead of the game, and could sell the other ones now with almost zero down, with $10 down, $50 down, $100 down and sell them very, very quickly. So what I'm saying is that once you have created some stability in your life, some financial stability, then go creative. Start doing some things. Or it might be worth that if you come up with a property that is perhaps zoned residential, but it's surrounded by commercial stuff, perhaps it's worth to rezone it commercial. It might take you a full year to get the rezoning done, but once it's done, that property will skyrocket potentially in value. So if you have evidence that it would do that, and that you could take a property that's right now worth perhaps $75,000 and make it worth $500,000, then that is worth doing it. But again, even at the beginning, if you come across a deal like that, I would rather just take the $50,000 profit that you might be able to get on that and sell it than having to go spend a year learning how to do the rezoning, because it's just not worth your time. You got to get out of debt. You got to get your head above water. You got to get that first success story under your belt so that your confidence goes up, because that very first deal that you'll do will take you from being a doubter to being somebody that says like, oh my God, this actually works. So I want you to be there. Even if you leave some money on the table, don't get overly greedy at the beginning. Just get in line and stay in line. It's one of my favorite sayings. As a matter of fact, the intellectual property to all these courses is owned by an LLC called Get in Line, Stay in Line that I created. And what that means is that pick something. Pick this program. It's the simplification of real estate. Have I do over this entire course right now, I have not a single time talked to you about repairs, about tenants, about toilets, about termites, about the cost of repairing a kitchen or anything like that. It's the simplification of real estate. You got a seller, doesn't want this piece of land anymore. You got you that wants to buy it. You got somebody else that wants to buy it from you. You put those two together, or you do a contract with this guy and a contract with that guy, and you got your deal done. It's as simple as that, and you make money in the process. You don't even have to go look at these properties. You don't have to go get into a car and look at it. You can everything do from the comfort of your computer. You don't even have to have a telephone. You can have Skype telephone, Google Voice telephone, everything set up on a simple laptop, or everything set up on your phone with Google Maps and et cetera, et cetera. Literally, this is a virtual business that you can create from anywhere, and it's a virtual real estate business where you take ownership of millions of, potentially of millions of properties. Now, one last thing that you can do is, here's the deal. If you're financially a little bit more sophisticated, could you potentially go get a $100,000 property for $20,000, keep it, and then go start lending, borrowing against it, but not against the purchase price, but against the market value, right? Could you go and buy yourself a $100,000 property for $20,000 and then go and get a $70,000 loan against that $100,000 property, and then go with that loan, go buy yourself a cash flow house or other kind of investments, right? So can you start thinking along those lines? Or if you do seller financing, which we're going to talk about in the next module, can you start looking at these things creatively? Can you start selling a property with seller financing and then sell the note and make money, make cash that way? We're going to talk about some of these options in just the next module, but I wanted to open your mind is that once you're used to doing a few deals, then the sky is the limit. Because there's so many different things you can do with land. You can buy your house, build houses on it. You can develop it. I have a piece of land right here in Phoenix, Arizona, 3/4 of an acre on a main road on a corner lot with 50,000 cars driving by. I'm right now talking to some realtors and developers and see it would be perfect for like a Chick-fil-A, a McDonald's, or a little strip mall with like 5-6 stores and something like that. I own this thing free and clear. I paid just over 20 cents on the dollar for this property, and it's worth a lot of money. And I'm currently evaluating what's the best use for that property, because just like I said, after having done a whole bunch of deals, I came across this property and I said, like, you know what? There's something I can do more that I can do with this deal. Let me keep it and let me develop it. Let me figure out what I can do with it. Worst case, I'll go sell it and I double, triple my money on it. But potentially, I might develop something on it. So you can develop the property, you can build a house on it, which is the same. You can rezone it, you can split it, you can do any kind of other things that are value adding to the property. You can have somebody put a billboard on it. You can have somebody put a cell phone tower on it, derive rent from that way. But bottom line is, you don't have to always just flip them. But at the beginning, you should. And that's the word about this module. It's a short video. We're not going to go over the computer. I simply just wanted to make you aware of these different options in the conclusion of the purchasing part of this program. All right, I'll see you on the selling side in just one moment.